Hello and welcome back. So, in this lecture, we'll try to see what are the different types of data or different data types that are available in Python. Okay, so we had already seen some variable assignment, etc. But we will go in more detail in this particular video. Okay, so let's first see what are variables. Okay, so any variable is basically like a name. Okay, like name, age, height, etc. Okay, that we use to store some value. Okay, and these value can be of different types, because sometimes we might have an integer, otherwise we might have a decimal value, or we can have a word, like an English word, etc. Right? So these types, okay, or these different category of data that we store, they are known as different data types. Okay, so the basic data types that are available in Python are integer, float, and string. Okay, integer, it's just the numbers, so it can be negative, zero, positive. And float, what we normally say as decimal numbers. Okay, so whenever we have a decimal point, that's known as float. And string is a word. Okay, English word, or a word that have meaning or that do not have meaning. Even like if you're using a number like 1 2 in like in commas, in inverted commas, then that is also a, or that will also be considered as a string only. Okay, so here we have three variables: name, age, height. And to name, I am giving a, or assigning a string variable. Okay, a string data type. So the name will have the value mark, age will be equal to 25, which will be an integer, and the height will be 5.8. Okay, so if I am putting like this inverted comma here, then it's no longer an integer, but it will be considered as a string only. Okay, so the string need not necessarily be an English word, it can be number, it can be anything, but it has to be enclosed in inverted commas. Okay, so if you just type print name, age, height, we can print the values stored in these variables. And also, if you need to know the type of some variable in Python, you can type or you can write type in brackets height. Okay, that that gives us, or that prints the type of the variable height. Okay, so let's just run this cell to see the output. Okay, so here I get mark 25 5.8, since we were printing name, age, height. And then for the second print statement, we get the output as class float. Okay, it means the height variable comes under the data type float. Okay, so I hope that's clear. And there are different ways in which you can assign. So in Python, this is also possible. So name, comma, age, comma, height equal to Alice, comma, 24, comma, 5.9. Okay, what this does is it assigns the first value Alice to the first variable name, then the second value 24 to the variable age, and the height, or the third value, that's a decimal one, float value 5.9 to the variable height. Okay, so if we print it, we should get a output similar to the one above, but here we had used a different syntax to assign the variables. Okay, so I just wanted you to get familiar with both types of assignment. That's why I showed two of them separately. Okay, and now so as I said, these are the three basic ones: string, integer, and float. And now we go to the next one, which is known as list. Okay, so those who have already learned C or C++, what you have there as in C++, what you call as array. Okay, it's the same thing in Python, we call it list. But the um, peculiarity, or the um, advantage, or I'm not sure if it's an perfect advantage, but one difference between C++ and Python will be that in Python list, it need not be necessarily the list need not be of the same data type. Okay, in C++, if you are creating an array, it has either all the elements of the array should be an integer, float, etc. But here in Python you can mix it up. Okay, so the first one, I'm just defining a list, fruits equal to, so the list is always defined inside square brackets. Okay, so if I'm creating an empty list, that should be this way, a square bracket without anything inside. Okay, and if I need to add some elements, I can just do separate the elements with comma and add the elements. Okay, so here I have in F, I have 1 comma 2 comma 3, so the elements in F are 1 2 3. Okay, so the elements in fruits are apple, mango, banana and grape, all are string variables. And in second array, I have a array named as, or a list named as mix, and inside mix I have the first element is an integer, the second one is a float, the third one is a string, and the fourth one is a list. Okay, so the mix, I have all data types that we have learned so far. Okay, we have integer, we have float, we have a string, and we have another list itself. Okay, so that's also quite possible. Now if I need to access this value apple, okay, so apple comes at the first position in the list. Okay, and as in C++, the indexing starts from index, in the sense the position. Okay, the name we give to the position. Okay, so the position of apple will be 0, mango 1, banana 2 and grape 3. Okay, so if you are writing fruits, then bracket and 0, then that will give us the name of the first fruit, that's apple. Okay, and if I'm printing mix 1, then the second element of mix will be printed. And if I'm printing -1, okay, so you need to pay a little bit attention here. If it's -1, that usually means the last one. Okay, so here if I'm writing mix -1, then this fruits should be printed. Okay, and if I need to, so but that fruits, like mix -1 is a list. Okay, and if I need to get the first element from that list, we have to give two brackets. Okay, so mix -1, that will be a list, and then in that 0 means the first element of that list. Okay, so let's just run it. Okay, so here we have the results. Fruits 0, that gave the first element of the fruits list, that's apple. And then mix 1, that gave the value 3.14, because 1 will always correspond to the second element. Okay, the element starts from index 0. And then mix -1, we got the list, that's apple, mango, banana and grape, because the last element in mix was the list fruits. Okay, and then finally when we give mix -1 and then another 0, then I am getting the first element of the list fruits. Okay, which itself was the last element of mix. Okay, so I hope that's clear how to access list values. But normally when we are actually doing some Python code, etc., we won't much depend on list. Okay, for example, like if you need to handle a two-dimensional array, etc., it's always better to use different libraries and not just the inbuilt Python list. Okay, so we'll talk about that in further lectures, but for now let's just stick with list only. Okay, and then yeah, if you need to change the value, okay, so our fruits was apple, mango, banana and grape, and if you need to change the first name, or let's say the second name, to from mango to orange, we just type fruits 1 equal to orange. Okay, so that means the second element in fruits, that will be replaced with orange, and if you run it, you can see the list now becomes apple, instead of mango we have orange, then banana and grape. Okay, so if you need to change the values in a list, you can directly assign the value. Okay, now whenever I am saying this, it's not that you just listen to the video. I highly recommend that you pause the video, you type it out yourself and see the results. Okay, and play around a little bit. Yeah, when I'm typing fruits one, you not necessarily just type fruits one and see the output. Okay, just try other things also, right? Then only you get used to it. Okay, and now there is another um, data type in Python known as tuple or tuple, depends on whoever is saying that. Some people say tuple, some say tuple. Okay, whatever it is. That basically starts with like this round brackets. Okay, normal ordinary brackets. So I'm having a tuple here, veggies equal to onion, tomato, garlic, and ginger. The difference, okay, everything remains the same as with the list, like how you access it, everything. But the only problem or only difference between list and tuple is that in tuple you cannot change the value of anything. Okay, so if I'm writing veggies 0 equal to chili, if I need to replace onion with chili, that's not possible in a tuple. Okay, so we will just see, I'm assigning it, but let's see what happens then. Okay, so here it says tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, which means I got the error from this line. So you can see arrow here, veggies 0 equal to chili. So which means that this line had some problem, and the problem, the error was shown here, and it says the tuple object cannot have item assignment. Okay, you cannot change the values. Also, tuple is really like a read only list. Okay, so we can just comment this line out so that the error goes away, and let's run it again. Yeah, so now here we have the results. The first print produces all the complete tuple, onion, tomato, garlic, and ginger. And if you are indexing it like saying 1, that means it the second element, that's tomato, and that will be printed. Okay, so list and tuple remains the same, but just remember that in a tuple you cannot change the values, okay, or change the elements. Fine. Now let's go to the final one we'll discuss in this video. So that is a dictionary. Okay, that's a data type in Python, and here it's like a list only, but here instead of index like saying 0 1 2 3 etc., here we will have like key pairs. Okay, we have a key and we have the corresponding value. Okay, so the for example, I'm creating a dictionary, so here the bracket will be curly bracket, agent 1 equal to, so the name, that's the key, and you put a colon here and then type the value. Okay, so corresponding to, when you use the key name, you get the value as James, and when you use the key code, you get the value as 007, and if you are using the key department or depth, we get the value as mi6. Okay, so here, in order to print the name of agent 1, what I have to do is I type agent 1, and instead of writing 0 1 2 3 etc., I will be writing the key. Okay, then the name of the key. Okay, so here I'm typing name, the second one code, and here department. Okay, so let's just run it. So here we get the values. Okay, James 007 and mi6. Okay, so now I hope that's clear. And like dictionary does not have any like logical order or anything. We always access the elements using the key. Okay, and we are creating a new agent, agent 2, with the key name, code, and depth, and the values John 006 and CIA. Okay, and now what we do here is we are creating a list again. Okay, so I'm creating a list known as ag underscore list, and inside that list I am giving um, the elements of the list are like two dictionary values. Okay, agent 1 and agent 2, and suppose I need to print the name of the agent 1. What I do is I print the first element, or sorry, when I need to print the agent 2, what I do is ag list 1, so that prints the agent 2, and from the agent 2 I'm calling the key name. Okay, so that means when I run this cell, I get John, right? So the agent 2, the name was John. So I get that particular value outside. Okay, so I just showed you that to demonstrate that in the Python list you can have like anything. Okay, the Python list element can be another list, it can be a dictionary, it can be a tuple, it can be integer, it can be float, anything. Okay, so all that is possible. So we'll stop this video for now, and yeah, we'll continue the rest of the topics in a later video. Okay, thank you very much.